there are some decency, but few of the productions are very bad. They'll be like, sometimes we sit on the bike around 5 a.m. in the morning, and it will go till like 12 without food, without washroom, without water. For straight 6 hours, at least, like sometimes you have to ride the bike at very slow speed for the shoots, okay? Sometimes 10, 15, 20, and it is very boring, trust me. Very boring. And you have to do one take for sometimes 50 times, 70 times. The same thing for 3 hours. And whenever we post something, it's like, wow, what a shoot.
Actually, yeah, I think recently on Naughty's profile, I think, no, for the Sayara movie he had shot. And I was speaking to him, he told me the same thing. Boss, don't even talk about the shoot. It was a horrible shoot, but end of the day, everybody thinks it was good. But coming back, how has Indian motorcycling scene evolved over the last decade? Since you have been into this industry, been into the sport, you have literally seen everything. How has it evolved from the past years?
I think it's got changed only. Like earlier, when we started, we used to think like this is all bullshit. One day we gonna ended up with this no more stunt riding, going for 9 to 5 job, and let's finish it off. And now people asking me, is there any future in stunt riding? Is there any future in racing? I said like, yeah, one of the biggest. I said now people are getting paid to ride. Even the TBS championship, people are getting paid to ride. So yes, the future got changed. Even I would like to put my son into this racing thing if he would like to, and if he's interesting in that, because I could see the future. And sponsors also giving good money. Nowadays collaboration is also happening good. And you can see the future, like we are sitting out here for the coffee meet. We never used to thought about it that one day people will call us for a coffee meet. So yes, it's definitely really good, and hope it will go more good.
And that's hard work, right guys? A big round of applause for that. Monster, thank you so much for being a part of us. Hoping to see you all in the next event too. Thank you guys. So what do you think, I mean, okay, what do you have to tell? What is your opinion? How was the motorcycling decades changed over from your college days to the current generation?
I think it has been changed a lot, because earlier when I used to go into the media events, or for the shoots also, there was no such opportunities. Now everything has been changed. I'm getting fully, most of the opportunities for big bikes, and brands are trusting women's also, right? And earlier they never used to give big bikes to female riders.
Earlier, only the magazine people used to get invited. Now I can see there's a special slot for the influencer, not only for the influencer, but the people who are coming from the other states. They're providing that special slot of the Kerala people, Bangalore people, and this is really happening. Otherwise, only magazine used to put one story in one article, one page. That's it. But nowadays, they're getting a major valuable things from this social media.
And social media is a whole new ball game now, right?
Exactly.
Wherein this is the platform where business looks bigger. Even, for example, let's take a coffee meet. For example, if you give me like 5 people, there's no big crowd. We can make it look like a 50 people area, and that's how things change. So the media is a whole ball game. So coming to the motorcycles as well, you guys have ridden all old previous gen motorcycles and the current gen motorcycles. What is your opinion on that? How is the industry growing of manufacturers?
It's definitely going fine, and nowadays they started taking initiative to talking to the motocross rider, rally rider, and asking them their feedback, and then changing parts and the performance parts in the motorcycle that got changed earlier. Only the special engineer guy used to sit in a AC and used to take care about the motorcycle, and used to think about what should be new thing put in this motorcycle. But nowadays they're taking feedback from the rider, even the computer writing about that motorcycle. Long time, like in 2008, they used to just manufacture the vehicle, give it to the AI, and just start the production. But nowadays everything.
The outputs given by influencers are true.
See, there is a few influencers like Motozoomer and all, they do proper R&D and then they put their content, but few people, I am also in part of the few people because I'm not good at talking in front of the camera. I love to say this honestly. So yes, you need to cross-check before you get influence and then buying product. I believe to go and check the product and then only buy. Doesn't matter who's selling what, but your comfort, your safety is first. So yes, nowadays, but it's really helping those influencers telling you that where you should go, what should you buy.
But are you sure whatever the information they are putting up on the screen, wherein they have so many followers out there, is it accurate? Are they doing their homeworks?
Yeah, few people are definitely doing it, few people are not doing it, and it's up to you. The technology got changed, you can cross-check and verify also. You can see his views. Nowadays they are checking followers and then checking views. Views are very less and the followers are very good. Then you can literally call that guy, yeah, okay, this is paid one. And few people are doing really good R&D. They're getting the product, they're doing test and then they're putting the review. So you can literally can see.
What do you have to say, Meghna?
I think you can say like 30% people like influencers are real and 70% they are doing it just as a job, just because they are getting paid. You know, like sometimes, and most of the people are putting this fake thumbnails. I hate that shit. I don't know why. Like just to get the views and all, you are influencing people, you know, at the wrong direction. Business now. It is not the platform where, you know, you get good advice, you get genuine products and something like that. So you are smart enough to calculate things.
Guys, but 6K gives you genuine products, so please don't hesitate.
I am one of the customers.
So what advice would you give young riders aspiring to make a career in biking, stunts or motorsports?
Only one advice that I experienced, that I had a 26 broken bone, 2-time ICU, 1-time coma. My soft bone got removed. There. Think that 2 seconds before you twisting the throttle. That if I could not do that and control my twisting throttle, I would have been not in that situation. So I experienced this thing whenever I was like giving wrong throttle at wrong time and then getting crashed and then sitting in the hospital next to my mom died, and then I realized that 2 seconds I would have controlled my things, and so that's the only advice that I know, that you are young, and when I was young I also used to do the same thing. I'm not supposed to say this, but I'm just telling my experience. So when I was like just 18 or 19 something, I used to pull video on that Max 100. This is a very bad story I would like to share because nowadays I can see that Bangalore cops is running behind you.
Oh, you have no clue. Let's not talk about it for now.
So I used to do video on my Max 100, that 2-stroke. Because whenever I come to Bangalore, I used to running 2-stroke everywhere. I was pulling wheelie in my area only, and I was doing wheelie, and one guy who was traveling pillion. So I landed my front wheel on his ear. Touched literally, and I said, hey, move now. What are you doing? Like, area ka, kind of one. So my petrol got over and I could hear one sound from my ears. Ting. Then I saw that was a cop, 3-star officer sitting here. They took me to the police chowki, full night I was there only. And yes, from that point I stopped my street standing. And if you give me payment also, like 1 lakh rupees, do one video on Bangalore Road, I was like, no, sorry, I'm done with that. But on shooting, yes, I will definitely do. So that's the main reason, like, don't spoil your name in this.
Meghna, you have something to say?
It's just that like people are very rely on Instagram, even male riders, female riders, just for the sake of views. You are risking your life, someone else's life. So just you have to like follow few rules, literally few rules. Wear the helmet, wear the gears, don't do street stunting. Like it fascinates. It used to fascinate me also. This guy also, he's sitting here, he had experiences. So I think you shouldn't experience that shit. And just be wise. Whenever you're doing racing, do it on the track. When you're doing stunting, do it in the controlled environment. And this sports could be professional. At the same time, This can give you your life also and take your life also. This guy is earning, I am earning, and touch wood, we are going good. We are having good life. And it cannot be same for someone else. It can be same for someone else. So just, you have to be very good at something to make a life out of it. That's all. Just don't take random decisions. Okay, I think this fascinates me and stunt riding is good. You have a good money, we'll go that way. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to be very precise about everything. What we call, people call us precision riders. We have to be very precise with the camera. Like it costs CR. We have to calculate every move on the high speed, on the low speed. But one move, if we go wrong with that, the industry is very small. You can spoil your name within a second. You can make your name within a second. It's just that be wise, wear riding gears and do all of these things.
Okay, are you guys tired, hungry, bored? Yes, no, no.
Hungry.
You want
Hungry.
hungry?
Priyanka is saying hungry.
Okay, let's take a quick break. And meanwhile, Asim, you can start with the race. So once we finish the break, we'll continue with the session.
Sure.
Let's go.
Okay. Guys, I request you all to please drop the cans in the dustbin. Later on, I'll only have to sit and clean, that is it. No, that is a direct bike.
Message there as Landon Norris goes through that right hand side of the grid because that's where pole is. So if he's thinking it's a lot wetter, he doesn't want a standing start because he's at a massive disadvantage.
Yeah, but that's a message to the really about 16 on the grid to go down that side of the grid and drive out a little bit, which is what Lando was doing there.
So through Rouge, see on the racing line through Rouge, that standing water has been cleared away. The safety car will go as fast as it possibly can. It's never going to go as fast as a Formula One car, but it is a safety car. It's there for safety purposes. But you can see how quickly the F1 car can accelerate up to it.
And they were clearly thinking also it could well be to clear a standing start. It's a very direct decision. Rolling start, standing start. But yeah, we're very cautious, aren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, Silverstone, how many cars came in for slick? 4 or 5 came in for slicks at the end of the summer.
That's right.
So, to that.
Which wasn't the right idea.
These intermediates are hard to do exactly what it says on the tin to get in between wet and dry, but it's such a long, fast corners here. They burn out very quickly.
I was going to say, we've had more rain than the last time the cars were on the track. How long, even behind the safety car, can these intermediates actually last? And how long before we start hearing on the radio that the drivers might need to come in for new tyres? That is Hrishi Marquez, the race director, and his deputy to his right-hand side. It's his call, but he'll take it after hearing the chatter on the team radio, the feedback from the drivers, and he'll take that decision not just based on his own opinion, but the collective opinions of the 20 drivers out on the track.
Yeah, again, so we're having it towards the end of that. So the second car's coming in at the end of this lap, surely it should be, it's a late call, so that suggests it's going around the game.
Get that feeling. There's booster tails, but they're not booster tails. They dissipate pretty quickly. That's not a play with wasps, by the way. Don't adjust your sound levels. We get some drone footage for this week. It's great drone footage as the cars make their way to the chicane. I hate to call it the bus stop chicane, Martin, because it's not the bus stop chicane, there's no bus stop there anymore, are there?
No, it used to be a really great section of the original bus stop chicane. Yeah, so a message from Ion, who's on board, he said he'd be surprised if it's actually a standing start. But
I think the thing is, you don't want the right-hand side from Pole down to B19 to be
and it's clearly racing. Absolutely clearly racing.
And 53 seconds.
As well for the stabilizes.
I'm with you, and I'd like to see a standing start as well. People are going to get it. It is that much better on the right hand side, just the boxes are analysed. I'm sure it's not. Them as well.
Yeah, I mean it's less critical for that run up to the top of the hill now, because Lando will be a few meters.
Max Verstappen ahead of him, Charles Leclerc ahead of him, Oscar Gentleman, Lando Norris leading them down. Ahead of Alex Albon and George Russell, and Yuki Tsunoda as they make their way round the source.
And then we're sliding Lando up the hill.
Where Piastri was before Norris.
Lando, I think, telegraphed that way too early and put himself at risk by having his teammate on his side. Then the wheel spin coming out of Lasso's head.
As they get before this fast left-hander, and you can see just how fast out in front Oscar Piastri finding grip.
Darting around behind the gearbox of the Ferrari.
Would explain why Piastri is moving ahead quite so fast.
And possibly why he breezed past him on the straight.
Yeah, that might explain quite a lot as towards the chicane we go. Max Verstappen behind Charles Leclerc. This is the battle for third place. Lando Norris, if he's got no battery pack or he's got limited battery pack, might just find himself. He's coming back on. We used a lot the safety car restart. Says someone from the pit wall down this straight now.
And no DRS said that in these conditions, but it will come in, I imagine, as it dries out a little bit. But Piastri already 1.1 here and out of DRS range at this stage.
Just behind Alex Albon, George Russell is picking up a slipstream. We're back and forth fifth. You can't see it. It's behind the spray at the moment. And here comes George Russell though. And on the inside line coming into the chicane, George Russell manages to get past Alex Albon. Pops his Mercedes up in the fifth place.
Yeah, good move there, nice and clean from both drivers. And we saw Lando Norris already going to look for the wetter part of the track, going up to the Lecombe chicane, because they know these intermediates from just going to the grid and how gnarly they look when they got there.
I mentioned that Carlos Sainz has got past Lance Stroll now. Lewis Hamilton has got past Lance Stroll and with his Ferrari up into 17th place. And we are on board now with Max Verstappen plunging down the hill towards the Fania chicane in pursuit of Charles Leclerc. He has got a little bit wide, no room to pass there though for the Red Bull driver, but you can see just how close Max Verstappen is, and we've seen him before in the past making a move around Blanchimont, and we're about to see that come again in 2025. How close can he stick to the Ferrari though? Out of curve of full flare as the drivers get their foot flat as they possibly can to the floor and accelerate towards the end of another lap.
So the conundrum they're going to have, and Lando looks a lot happier now, doesn't he? The problem they're going to have is how far do they go on these intermediates? The intermediates will be falling away quite dramatically, but they don't want to take an extra pit stop if they think they can get them to dry tyres.
Ashley Davidson, the Sky Race Controls, just tells me that the message goes to Lando Norris at the moment is that Oscar Piastri might be struggling a little bit with his battery charge and deployment too. So is Oscar Piastri about to get double straight? We shall see. There's Gabriel Bortoletto in 10th place, holding on to that 10th place. The only movement is down towards the rear with Hamilton and Sainz picking up places and Piastri getting past Lando Norris.
And you can see the rear tyres marking up already. You get the sort of dull patch. When they're slick tyres, you want a nice dull sheet, but not on these tyres. That means the surface is tearing.
And Piastri survives another blast between the trees towards the chicane and Max Verstappen, as he did on the previous lap, getting a lot closer to Charles Leclerc as Leclerc goes a lot wider through Ravage in that Ferrari, and Verstappen managing, I think, with extra downforce from that rear wing to take that corner a lot tighter and get better traction out of it as well. Leclerc's under a lot of pressure here from Max Verstappen, and you can see the dry line is starting to appear in some of these corners.
Yes, and that's where the demo cars are most loaded, of course, with aerodynamic downforce, and that is why they're starting to burn a racing line through the water. And they've got to hang on to these intermediates to get to, if it's not going to rain anytime soon, they're going to need dry tyres quite soon. Anthony, let's go race control.
Yeah, just to explain this battery pack issue. So when it rains, you're putting a lot more braking energy into the system, therefore a lot more recharge to your state of charge of the battery. The car learns as it goes when to deploy and when to harvest the energy. And they haven't had any wet running so far, so that explains why possibly everyone is going through this kind of uncharted territory right now. I'll leave it back to you.
Yeah, because Lewis Hamilton's gaining on Carlos Sainz here through the spray, pulls to the inside of the chicane. Sainz will try and fight it, but he can't. Hamilton is through and going on. The track is kicking out to Nelly. Didn't get his braking right there. Doesn't gain any advantage. Slots back in behind Carlos Sainz. Hamilton is up into 16th.
Yeah, and a good grip on the inside there for Lewis in the Ferrari. And Antonelli looked like he was sort of watching that a little bit. Here's Max then in the slipstream, still no DRS. You can see the Ferrari harvesting his battery. Well, now that's the rain lights, of course, flashing in that time, but the result it was harvesting going up straight. But anyway, and every time the Leclerc turns into a corner, he's just struggling to keep it anywhere where he wants to be near the apex. Max then looking for the back track down into the hairpin.
And Lewis Hamilton around the outside of the car here. To slash Carlos Sainz at the bus stop chicane. Chicane, and about 6 corners later is up to 15th. Franco Colapinto is the driver we got in the Alpine. So pace for Hamilton in these early stages here at Spa. Oscar Piastri led the first 36 laps of the British Grand Prix before that penalty that cost him the win is out in front here by just over a second. From Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc holding on Max Verstappen still under big pressure. Those two pulling away from George Russell, Alex Albon, Yuki Tsunoda in 7th, and Andrew under pressure from his teammate Liam Lawson and Gabriel Portoletto in 10th.
Yeah, Charles Leclerc has been on the radio complaining about understeer. We saw him struggling to make the apexes, didn't we? And look, you can see with Antonelli there, he's got no grip at all. Turns in, and the thing skates across the racetrack. They're all really having to drive like it's a rally car at the moment, but they can't afford a pit stop. They think they can get these to a set of dry tyres. We're not that far away now.
Anthony Davidson and race control monitoring the team radios. We just watched Lewis Hamilton on a charge. Hamilton's making moves here on this Sunday in Spa, and he's gained another place up to 14th. Anthony, to you.
Yeah, there was to practice all of his British wet weather skills. He's going back days here today. But listening to Gasly's radio comedy, he's actually saying we're getting close, surprisingly, to dry crossover times. There's a lot of spray for the lap times would suggest otherwise.
Dry tyres that Martin could be coming our way.
You've got to get up this straight and not lose too much temperature, haven't you? And once again, you see the Ferrari reluctant to go into the corners. And then you just get this bit drifting across the road. Yeah, I mean, big brave driver went on the slicks just yet. There was 3 cars in the previous lap.
And he was working with Pierre Gasly here, and he was absolutely finding grip and temperature. And he's the man making the major moves out on the track in these early stages. Lap 9 44 gas is going wide. Hamilton hugs a tighter line through turn 8, through Ravage. Gasly going way wider. And he's struggling, Martin, to stay on a racing line that he likes.
I think Lewis has kept his tyres intact much better. And he's sort of and the penalty knocking across the racetrack to find some order. Gasly really slightly
So the tyre starts blistering up, and when this close to the Alpine is not going to be necessarily helpful.
An orthodox wants to overtake into that first class gap, and Lewis had so much speed he could do it.
Absolutely. 13th now for Lewis Hamilton. Ricciardo is the next driver up the road ahead of him. Then we have his teammate Esteban Ocon for Haas. Hulkenberg now has Pierre Gasly very much in his sights. Gasly's really coming under pressure here towards the end of lap 9. It's lap 10 for those that are making their way out to the source. One of those is Max Verstappen. Look how close he got to Charles Leclerc.
It feels like it might not be too far off already.
The nightmare though for
just the straight to turn 5 is wet.
the nightmare for McLaren is that if Oscar's saying that, then Lando might be saying that too. There's only 1.5 seconds between the two, so a double stack is going to cost Lando Norris a lot of time. But you don't want to leave him out for another lap because that might cost him time too.
That overtake on the first lap for Oscar Piastri was absolutely critical because it gives him the high ground in that pit stop.
It certainly was. Still, Charles Leclerc holding off Max Verstappen. Frustrating, I'm sure, this for Verstappen. It's a great defence from the Ferrari driver. Picked up his maiden win here, of course, for Ferrari and in Formula 1 in 2019. Look how close Verstappen is here. We saw an F2 today. Alex Albon on the outside of Braun. Verstappen is trying the same thing on Charles Leclerc. Leclerc just slams the little shot for the time being.
He got so little grip, they're going 20 seconds of lap slower in qualifying.
By the way, that move, Alex Albon going around the outside of Braun, bravo. Absolutely superb return that was. A man creating many headlines in F2. You've been watching, of course, on Sky F1.
Now it's 18.6 seconds roughly for a pit stop. You don't want to be carrying these around too long, otherwise you're just wasting a pit stop every 2 or 3 laps if you're that slow. So nobody wants to blink first. You kind of almost wonder if somebody at the back might have a punt and try to gain something from the back of the field onto the slick tyres.
Do you think maybe that's what the leading, say, 4 cars are hoping as well? They're getting into Verstappen on the braking towards the source, and no way past on this particular occasion.
Wide there.
He has, but very wide. It looked just about under traction and stays ahead of Max Verstappen. You can hear use the R's, the cheers of the clip, and hope that will enable him to get alongside.
I've got my time, I've got.
But this is my point. They're so slow. You get a pit stop. Even if you put a set of meters on it, you get your pit stop back in 3 laps.
Ollie Behrman gets past Esteban Ocon and up into 11th place. The gap out in front, Piastri over Norris has grown now to over 2 seconds. Charles Leclerc has got his hands full, and at the start of lap 11, found himself over 9 seconds behind the race leader.
Pack quite tight. You put you back into a lot of traffic, but they really are floundering around out there for grip. Anthony.
Yeah, and on top of that, Martin, they're talking about safety car windows as well. And at the moment, that would be an absolute disaster if Kenny's committed to another set into. So you've got to go through, my feeling is you've got to go through this uncomfortable phase where the Inter has to start matching the reality of the circuit, the dryness of the circuit, and you go through this feathering up of the rubber as it sheds the rubber off and turns into a slick itself, albeit a much softer compound than a slick. This is the uncomfortable phase of being on an intermediate tyre, and drivers have looked after the temperatures more. And I think Gasly is one of those, from what I'm hearing on his radio. Norris being guided the whole time by his side of the garage. Hamilton told his box there, so yeah, is he ready for 6? Lando Norris said it's not ready for 6 just yet. A few more laps, this would be fascinating to see what Ferrari do.
Well, let's see then. They've been right on the tail of the Haas and losing time there.
Remember in Silverstone, there was someone McLaren were 1 to 2 seconds a lap faster, 10 seconds ahead of Leclerc now.
Sort of day reminds me, I know it's a lot warmer than it was in Turkey in 2020. But remember then, if you just kept the temperature in your intermediates, even when the tread went off, you were on the better tyre that day.
You were, but that was a really slick win. But the key thing is, can you go fast enough to build up to get your tyres up to temperature. And no surprise.
Into the pits comes the race leader, Oscar Piastri. Lando Norris stays out. They were too close for McLaren drivers to make that double stack. DRS has now, Charles Leclerc has been called in, Max Verstappen has been called in as well. So this is what pit news. Verstappen is influence. Can they make sure they get 4 tyres to put on and the driver sent back out in time? It's almost another Lando Norris carries. There are so many more barreling in.
Down a little bit, a double stack, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars on slicks, and another.
So much action going on. Yes, all came in very closely after them. They gathered themselves up very well.
It did have to apply the brakes a bit to make sure that Charles Leclerc didn't come into it.
Piastri 2.4 seconds faster than Norris.
What about a hard time? Try to go to that. What about a hard? Would you take it now? Any hard?
It might be slow. It might be the right idea, but it might be slow. Charles Leclerc has managed to get through a few back markers there. And Max Verstappen.
A bit of a slow technical position, and they've had to do something contrary because Piastri is down the road.
So the Piastri, Leclerc first, Verstappen fourth, Russell fifth. It was cracking around. Verstappen and Russell Italy, that wasn't one of the two drivers. Alex Albon's lost a place to George Russell here on the track. And Lewis Hamilton, by pitting a lap earlier than everyone else, has moved up into the top 7 ahead of Lawson, Hulkenberg and Pogacar.
And Hamilton absolutely flying there. He can see now his teammate just at the top of the hill. So that's worked out brilliantly. Lewis starting from the pit lane, remember.
This is Lando's pit stop. Has he hit his marks? It's not easy. He goes a little bit more than his marks, I think, there. And that didn't help those on the front left trying to put the whole compound tyre on. But it is not easy, Martin, to stop dead marks in these conditions. Was it a bit long or not?
I don't think so. Just looked like he left on, but there was absolutely zero tread left on the intermediate.
It did change it. It really did. There's Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, George Russell, Alex Albon and Lewis Hamilton in 7th. They got 6 places by missing a lap earlier.
No hurry here, just keep on track.
So they are committing Oscar Piastri and McLaren to another stop to come. And what they're saying to Lando Norris is, look after these tyres really gradually, then you can save yourself 20 seconds in this race by going to the end of it.
Yeah. Are you sure set meetings won't go to the end?
Well, I'm not sure.
15 laps just fine yesterday, didn't they, in the sprint, less fuel on board. But it's a tall order, but and probably not is the answer. But Norris is going to be, the warm-up on those hard compact tyres is going to be tough in these conditions. And then he should get some dividends a little bit later on.
He's lost 3 seconds already,
Yeah.
with one lap, and that was the fear of these hard compact tyres for this weekend. To see what we were going to see 2 last year, to see what this year. Pirelli hoping to give a more strategic options by putting a tyre compound choice out that isn't sequential. George Russell has a look. On Max Verstappen, nothing doing there. Into the chicane, Lewis Hamilton absolutely flying here. Fastest man on track by far, and on the last lap he was 7/10 of a second quicker than Alex Albon and Max Verstappen and George Russell, and he is really making the games.
And he's now got DRS range on Alex Albon as well, and Lewis Hamilton, so he'll be flying through that. I think he'll join the Russell Verstappen Leclerc fight pretty soon.
You have Lewis for a top 6 finish today. He might be smiling at the moment, but there's still a long way to go. So
He's about to overtake Albon.
See whether the medium tyre
He's about to overtake Albon.
It's that hard tyre. 2 steps harder than the medium. Has been slow. It's slow on Friday, roughly.
He overtook
So we'll
4
see
people
whether-
by sitting 1 lap
Just as you say
early.
that, Lando's mighty fast through the middle sector. He's got them up and running.
His style got changed.
I'll tell you what,
He
it hasn't worked out
taking the car.
for
Now
stopping late. You
not
also know
you.
that Isaac Hadjar has been his Barcelona, so good work for Hassan. And I think
Verstappen is now running blood last. And Benn's lost places.
He's not even shaking his steering for a toy split. Just
Gasly up into 11th of the fringes then of the top 10. 5 cars down the main straight, all trying to find a line and a slipstream and head shot who seems a lot happier. And now he's on leading
2-3 more pulls.
On this Sunday afternoon.
Started fast this year and then last time around just a little bit faster than it. Really, feels like you've thrown a parachute out the back. What they said to Lando.
Interesting.
Cap's very small, bro.
The DJ is standing there. We all have to go home. We have office tomorrow. So we'll settle down. Okay, I want you guys to sit in the front.
4 days you're not in.
Stay for 5 minutes. Okay, all.